Hello everyone, welcome to the Jarvi video blog. I am Zach.
I am Bill.
And I'm Allie.
We're here today to talk to you about some of the current trends in the labor market. Have a good time chatting about what we're talking about, and just kind of chat about some of the things happening in the staffing world, recruiting world, and maybe get into some of the topics. It's pretty freeform. We don't really have a plan here, but we're just going for it. We are here at Big E's restaurant in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We'd like to definitely thank them for having us here. And we haven't planned where we're going to be next week, but stay tuned for that. We'll be back next Thursday with another round of this chat. Guys, if it's okay with you, I'd like to talk about some of the labor numbers that came out recently. Allie actually here wrote a blog last week about the labor numbers that are in most of the markets we work in. And we'll talk specifically about the stuff happening here in Michigan, since Jarvi Group is mostly around Michigan and Grand Rapids. Numbers are pretty bleak for employers, but pretty awesome for employees. Last month, 3.5% unemployment. This month it dropped 0.5% down to 3% unemployment, and that seems to be a trend across the state. On the lakeshore, the West Coast lakeshore, 5.4% last month, down to 4.7% this month. Cedar Springs, mid-Michigan area, 3.5% last month, down to 3% this month, 3%. And then also on the east side of the state, 4.6% last month, 4.3% this month. Bill, what does that mean for the employers out there?
That means there are less jobs. Nope, sorry. You gotta edit that.
There's no edits here. This is real time.
That means there are more jobs than there are people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, in a nutshell.
So many people are employed here, which is good, right? We want people employed.
Definitely.
We want that happening, but at the same time, we hire people. You hire people, so that's tough. So what does that mean? What are the implications of that for the person trying to do hiring right now?
Well, I mean, for employers, I think what it does is it forces them to have to look elsewhere for talent. If only 3.0% of the population is unemployed, that doesn't necessarily mean that you want all of that 3.0% working for you.
That's true.
So you have to find where that person is that's not part of that 3.0%.
It's true.
And a lot of times that's finding people who are already employed and convincing them and talking to them a little bit about why your company is better than where they're currently at.
So this is a tough question, right? How do you get someone who's currently employed, not looking for work at all, to leave their job and come work for you?
It's all value. Yeah. Well, they're not working for me. They're working for somebody else.
That's true. That's true.
It's perceived value.
Yeah.
And so when you talk to somebody, I mean, first and foremost, when you talk to somebody who's currently employed, you're just having a conversation with them. You know, you're talking to them about, their current place where they're working, what they like and what they don't like about it. You know already what types of positions that you have and that you're looking to fill. As you're talking to that person, what you want to do, if you're good at what you do, you want to make sure you're putting them in a position that's better than where they're at now. The last thing that I ever want to do is take somebody who's at a great place and put them in a place that's less or lesser than where they're at. Because that doesn't do that candidate any justice.
And when you say less, like, what do you mean? You mean like the actual pay, or like the job title, or like what does that span?
Not necessarily, because none of that, I mean, some things are more important to other people than other things. You and I may value salary differently.
It's true.
It's
true.
You may value salary more than me because I value time off more than you. And that's where having that conversation with the candidates, you find out specifically what's important to them. And then you find out if time off is important to you, are you getting enough of that where you're at? Well, yes, I am, or no, I'm not. And then a good recruiter is going to go back and go, what do I have that meets the criteria and the things that are important to you? And there's a good possibility I have nothing that you want. Nothing that'll make that's an improvement for you.
That's very true.
And so then for me to go to you and say, hey Zach, you're in a great place. And right now, if I were you, I would just hold tight.
Yeah.
And stay where you're at and grow.
And that's a hard conversation to have with someone. That's a hard thing to say to someone when you really want them as a as an employee or as a staff member in your company? Just say, hey, you know what? Maybe next time.
Yeah, it's hard in that sense, but it's not hard in the sense that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to do the right thing to say, you know what, sure, I could place you at this company, but it may not be the best fit for you, and it may not be the best fit for them, but it's the best fit for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But ultimately, what's going to happen is that's going to come back around, and it's not going to be the best fit for me.
We see that all the time.
Yeah.
People are not in the right position, not in the right place. They want to leave like that week. They want to get out of there. So, I mean, you could go through the effort of hiring them and bringing them on, but you're right, they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
Allie, what are the things you value in a job?
Yeah.
What are like the top 3 things we'll say?
Yeah, I'd have to say my top 3 things are definitely being on a team with like-minded people. We're all working towards one goal, and so it's definitely beneficial for everyone to be on the same page and for everyone to be working towards that goal. I guess another thing that I would definitely value as important to me is having a team that likes to be together.
Sure,
so,
absolutely.
I mean, you have to work with these people every day, so I want to be able to
Absolutely.
be chummy with my team, but also be serious and be professional with my team. And then I guess I would also value a company that values something more than profits. So
Absolutely.
I'm not necessarily at a job just to make a paycheck and just to put in those hours, which of course are important. But I like to see the company look outside of itself as well.
Yep. And did you notice how she didn't? None of the top 3 things were her actual salary. It was like outside external factors to what the company's all about, what her team members are like, and then of course salary matters. Obviously it matters,
Of
but
course, yeah.
those are the
eat.
important things. So I guess as a company, how do you build value? If you are trying to find someone who's in a job, unemployment's so low, you've already talked to all the people who are unemployed. How do you build that value with someone who is already in a position? How do you lure them in?
Well, so for example, if I were recruiting Allie, and I was trying to get her to go to another company, I would look for a company that values teamwork, that values that team collaboration, because that's important to her. I wouldn't want her to find a position where she's on an island by herself.
Yeah.
Because she's going to be unhappy quickly, and her work will show her degree of happiness or unhappiness, and then
Absolutely.
her manager will be unhappy.
Absolutely.
And so having that conversation, finding out what's important to her, then that helps me when I'm talking to companies to be able to say, yep, nope, Allie's not a fit for you, but she is a fit for you. And like I said earlier, it's not necessarily a tough conversation to tell Allie, you know what, this company's not a good fit for you.
Yeah.
So let's kind of walk. Let's move on to the next company, and because I can find somebody else that is a good fit for them.
Absolutely.
There are people that want to work alone. People
You're a
that
matchmaker.
pretty much, yeah. Swipe right.
Tinder humor for you here. But no, that's good. That's good. Anything else you guys want to add?
It's for HR managers and recruiters and for anybody out there, and they know this. I mean, the good ones do. You want to make that connection. But there are times when you have to look beyond yourself. And you have to look for what's right for the candidate and what's right for the company, as opposed to what's right for your staffing numbers, what's right for your ATS numbers. Because ultimately, what's going to happen is there's going to be that turnover.
It's true.
And that's going to affect the unemployment numbers. Find the right fit. That's to me, that's the most important.
Yep, absolutely. And Bill and I actually did a webinar a few weeks ago, kind of around this topic. That was when these numbers hadn't come out yet, and the unemployment numbers last month were already kind of low.
Yeah.
So we made a webinar that actually helps get down to the bottom of what a good recruitment strategy looks like. We'll go ahead and put a link to that in the comments of this post, so you can view that webinar on your own time if you want. There's a lot of good stuff in there about like digital attraction and job boards and how to structure your job descriptions to benefit your recruiting strategy. We will be here next not here at Big E's.
Somewhere else, though, right?
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
We're going to take this thing on tour. So we'll be somewhere else next Thursday, but we'll be back here online to see you next Thursday morning. Special thanks to Big E's for having us out here today. If I had a drink here, I would say cheers to you guys, but I don't. But we will get one after this. So have a good one.
Thanks.
Yep. Bye.